who's your public? Who's your audience? So people who eat tacos. Well, yeah, of course, but not everybody buys them. So you have to take some time and say, who is your audience? Who, is your public so that you can invest your time in getting the best, reaching your target audience. With digital marketing, you have to figure out what platforms your public uses. Like, do they use Facebook or social media or YouTube more? And that way you can start to see and, figure out where where your public is. So, why digital marketing? Why is it important? So, this little graphic shows you an idea, it's a general idea about why you're on different virtual media websites, platforms, and why use the internet in different ways. What happens with this graphic? So if we have different platforms like YouTube, others like TikTok, Twitter, Google My Business, Instagram, Facebook, email, and text, and all of them, the final goal is that they find you on the internet and you want them to go to your website. It could be your Facebook page, but the idea is that they use all these platforms to bring people to one place. And in this case, if it's possible for you to have a website, that's basically your home. That's where all of the information is all together in one place. So, what happens with digital marketing in COVID-19? During the pandemic, we realized, how many different businesses and people migrated to online purchasing because they weren't able to go out. If you remember, there was only pickup, or there was delivery only. So all that, business movement, everything was going online. So if you had a restaurant, a lot of businesses who were not adapted to that reality were very affected. They had to close temporarily because they didn't have the resources. They weren't ready digitally to face what we were all facing. So, but what happens? So we're coming out of the pandemic, and the consumer behavior has stayed in the pandemic behavior. So if we keep making digital purchases, if we're doing delivery, keep asking for pickup food, so that behavior has changed. Since the pandemic, a lot of people have migrated to digital platforms to do business. So if you don't have presence on those platforms, it doesn't help your business grow. So what happens? That's what we're going to talk about in this little workshop, in this presentation, about how can we promote ourselves as a business within this digital world so that we have a presence that allows people to find us and to do business with us as small businesses. So the first and the most basic point to start this presentation are your customers, your clients. Who are they? What are their needs? Where do you find them? What platforms do they use? Defining your customer allows you to invest in publicity where you're going to have more impact, which means, for example, extreme example, if my customers are people who are from 40 to 60 years old, and we know that the digital, platform that they use most, that they most know, is Facebook. That would be one of the first ones. We can say, okay, there is where we're going to do some more effective marketing. So how do we know that? So one of the things that will move us forward, when Facebook allows you to, when you create your page, you can define your public that you're looking for, and from there they will let you know, who those people are when they're working, when they're on Facebook. Another thing is collecting information about your customers, which is to say, we get their phone numbers, their emails. That will let us to stay in a constant communication with them, because if they leave, you might not see them again, but if you have their information, you can share a text message every couple of weeks with promotions or with new products or things like that. And how to communicate directly with your customers? Well, you have to define what customer who your customer is, and when they're working, for example. If you have people who, maybe internet isn't your strength or digital platforms aren't your strength, but maybe you want to send text messages. That might be a way, right? Any questions up to now? I'll just open it up for questions. Nobody's put anything in the chat. So we know, how where we're trying to go. We know who our customers are. So we're going to start the process of promoting our business, but we don't have an image. We don't have something that identifies us as a business. So when people think of, I don't know, let's say, when they think about tamales or empanadas, they want to associate it with something, with an image that they can identify with that. So if you're thinking about tennis shoes or sport attire, they think of Nike or Adidas. They have an image, right? They can imagine that logo and their image in general. So it's important because when people start to recognize your business, they know how to associate it. So the importance of that, as I just mentioned, is to have a way to be identifiable to the outside public, and that's branding, right? Which say the colors that we use, the font that we use, and I'm going to give an example in a second. One thing is to have a version for social media, and we can start use this everywhere. You have a logo. I'll show you in a minute. I just want to share here how this works. This is an example of a logo. That's one of the companies that I work with, and they have their logo that we made, and we have a color palette just to be consistent with all of their hats, all their swag, everything online, is going to have the same image, these same colors, these typographies. So we create this for them so that they have this consistency of their image. So once we have that, once we have that whole process down, we have our colors, we're going to start on everything else for the promotion for a business. If you have business cards, shirts, masks, sometimes, right? Pencil, pens, things like that. That's a way that we can be identified to the outside public. Another important thing is the color that we're going to choose for our businesses, right? So if we have a business that we're starting out, for example, normally they're going to be blue and green because, like, if you have a cleaning business, sorry, like green and blue is associated with nature, cleanliness, etc. There's other type of colors that have their own associations. For example, take this into account when you're thinking about how do I want to be recognized in the outside. So if I have like a spa or someplace to relax, if I make it red, it doesn't really go with the type of the business that I have because red is alert, is danger. Those are the type of things that we should take into account when we're developing our branding. Any questions? We don't have any. Okay. Social media. This is incredibly important because if you're going to promote or market your business for free, this only requires your time. So why be on social media? And I'm going to show you some pretty revealing numbers. It's because a lot of people, and I'm going to show you a graphic that shows presence on social media, and it's going to give you a lot more information, which is say that you have to take into the reach you have on social media, is the number of people. It's really important for your business. So I'm going to talk about something really key. Like, what is the difference between a business account and on or a page on Facebook and your personal page or your personal accounts. Someone typically can promote their business through their personal page. That's okay in the beginning because it's just what we're starting to do. But as you start to grow, um, you should create a page or on Facebook or another account that will give you some benefits that they don't give your personal page. And you can take advantage of those benefits. For example, this would be a personal page. This is where I have my personal things. I promote my stuff, things like that, right? Now, what happens? On this personal page, I don't have the advantage of a business page. We can show the difference. Here is a business page. Here you can see your followers. Here you can start to post information that will allow you to get more statistics. For example, how many people commented, the shares, and besides that, I can see, and I can share it here. Here I can see, for example, I gotta change my profile. So here on my business page, here I can see, for example, these statistics. How many people have seen the post, how many have reached, and how much engagement, that means like or shares. So all those statistics, you can also see them. Oh, sorry. We have a question from Sitlali who says, I have a question, and how to change from a personal account to a business page? How do you change? Very good question. If you don't have a personal account, I can share here how that looks. All right. So this is our personal page where I'm posting something on my profile. Okay. So if you go in your Facebook and if you want to just start a business page from nothing, you typically have to go over here to the side where it says pages, where you where it has pages. You click there. It's going to say create a new page. That's the first step to start to promote your business in a more organized way. So this way you can start filling out all the information, right? You can put your photos, et cetera, et cetera. So now Facebook made a little change about this, but typically in this little circle, you can switch between your business page and your personal page once you have it created. If you haven't created it yet, then you're going to have to go over to pages, create a page from nothing. And besides that, after you create your page, if you don't see pages there, you can click on see more and it's going to be down there somewhere. I don't know if that answered your question, Sitlali. Yeah, completely. Thank you so much. I'm listening and am taking notes. Thank you. Of course, if you have any questions, just ask. I'm here to help. Okay. Another thing that allows you to have a business page, for example, um, here you have the little dots. Oh, sorry, let me change it back again, my business profile. So you can go to these three little dots and go to manage, and it's going to give you lots of statistics. This allows you to know who your audience is and who are the type of people that are visiting your page. If you go over here, they have these are the number of people who visited and what ages they are. This is 35 to 44. It's the target, the age that most often visits this page. So then you can figure out, from here, that's the majority of our audience. What else? You're going to see things like where people are. They're in Portland, Beaverton, in this case, Lima, Peru, Vancouver, and Hillsborough. Your main audience is in Portland and some in Beaverton. So, for example, if you want to participate in events, that Portland and Beaverton is probably going to be a good space for that. If you want your people to, your audience to participate in events, and you can see which ones are women, which one are men, and that can help you with your promotion as well, your publicity. You can see the summary of your post reach. You can also see the content. This is really important. You can see the posts that have the most reach and the best numbers. The reach, the engagement with the post, etc. And this will allow you to see when you promote events, people can see and share it. So this is one of the benefits of having a business page, and besides your personal page. So this allows you to promote your business in a more organized way, uh, with more detail, and figure out, who are the people that are visiting and where are they from. There's another part that's called a Facebook Business Suite. And I'm just going to share a little bit of that so you have an idea of how that works. But Facebook Business Suite is a Facebook option in which everything is free. And you can connect your Instagram and Facebook page in one account. And this allows you to promote your business on two platforms at the same time without having to do twice the work. So how do we do that? Let's see. How does this look? So I'll show this. This is businessfacebook.com. That's the address. And this is where you can go and see, you can post and create posts to the accounts that are connected. And if I want to create a post, for example, here I have the option of posting it on both platforms. So when I write something and I add a photo, any kind, doesn't matter. So this post is going to show up. It's going to, and it'll show you how it will show up on Facebook and how it'll show up on Instagram. Right now it's not showing me that because the photo isn't optimized. But so this is how you can post on two platforms at once, and that saves you time and allows you to reach two different publics. Because what happens? So when I was saying in the beginning of the presentation, and I'll say it again, at the beginning of the presentation, I shared this graphic in which where you can all of your different platforms. That's if Facebook has an older, more aged population. Instagram's a little bit younger, between 20 to 35. But you can post on both at the same time and reach two different audiences with your product. Let's see, where are we? So this allows you, what allows you this is the Facebook Business Suite. So how to schedule posts on Facebook and Instagram, that's one of the benefits that you can take a business post and put it on both platforms. Let's see, we'll go back here, this example that we had. If I want to post something on both platforms, here I have schedule. And here I'll put the date that it's going to go out and the time, and I'll schedule that post. And from there, for example, I have a small business. I don't have a whole lot of time to be on social media. So I can create like 3 posts, schedule them, and leave them there so that they, go out on the date that I've chosen. And that's going to help you to keep a constant presence on social media. That's a really important option. The other benefit that we have is real-time interaction, real-time engagement with people. We have Facebook chat, we have analyzing insights, statistics. And another thing that's really important about social media is that, in my personal opinion, it's basically word of mouth promotion on steroids. And what does that mean? It means that a lot of people will talk with a friend and said, "Oh, I tried this restaurant. It's really good." The friend is probably going to go, try it because they trust you, that person, or they trust their friend, right? So, what is the advantage of social media? Is basically you can take that same concept, but you can take the same concept, but it's on a massive scale. So if I see that my friend is putting something on Facebook, it's a recommendation for a restaurant or of a concert or an event, it's much more likely that I'm going to go to that event because I saw it on my friend's profile than if a stranger told me, right? So the importance of Facebook and those other platforms is they've been very successful because it's based on those those relationships between people. So that's one of the biggest advantages. So some of the strategies that you can use to take advantage of social media is have a social media calendar. That's something like for this, for example, I'll give you an example here in which you can create, for example, Monday, I'm going to post, I don't know, something about a new product. Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to give the sale of the week. And that goes successively. And let's see, I'm going to share this for right now. I could do something like this. I'm going to create a social media calendar, which Monday, the date, a public that you're going to post. There's a ton of templates where you can create a calendar where it says each week I'm going to post XYZ, and that way you don't have to waste time doing it all the time. You can just do it once. So that's one of the strategies. Another one would be to do cross promotion. So, for example, if I sell, I don't know, burritos, and I know a business that sells juices, we could do cross promotion. We could put something on each other's profile, and that way we can reach different audiences. So that's another way to do it, to take advantage of social media. Also, using the Facebook cover photo as a publicity tool, you can put your telephone number, all your services you're offered, the text within images, because we know that a lot of people are only just passing through, with their finger looking at posts. They're not reading a lot of text, but if they see a photo, if you have text within the photo, it's more likely that they're going to read it. You have animated posts or things that are moving around. That also attracts a lot of attention, or little short videos. Questions about social media right now or anything related before we get into another topic? Yeah, good morning. This is Ilali. I would like to ask a question. So I'm just categorizing all these things about the internet, especially with Facebook, Instagram. But my question is this: which platform is the best to start with and has more public? For example, in my case, I do a daycare, I do a childcare. So I know that I have to I can't take a lot of pictures because I have to comply with a lot of requirements about that, photos of the children. But I also want to promote my services. So what to do? That's a really good question. That's really key to respect, especially if you work with children. Um, so respect that. So Facebook, let's see. Facebook's probably the best one to start with, and then after that would be Instagram. But always remember that in your case, Sidlali, when you're working with children, there's two things. One, you can talk about your services. You can talk about, you know, you can have a piece of paper or a form where you could ask the parents if they could give their consent that, that your kids are going to show up in a photo. If you don't have something like that, written down, you should probably not put absolutely anything about the child up there. Um, if you have pictures of your facilities or anything like that, like don't show the children unless you have a signed consent. That's a recommendation. Another thing on Facebook, there's a very important tool that is to join groups. You can have parents groups, school groups. So you can promote your business really well on those groups, and a lot of times it's free. So there might be some rules around it, but you can look for groups on Facebook. Um, and I don't know if this answers your question, Lally, but yeah, totally. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. In fact, when I talk with parents of the kids, within the contract, there is a form that talks about publicity and talks about their photos. We don't really show their faces that much anyway. We might show, what they're working on or projects or things that we do, but we don't really show their faces all that much. That for me is just really delicate. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for those suggestions. I really appreciate it. Yeah, of course. And look for those Facebook groups because that really influences a lot of moms and you can get a lot of promotion out of that. I think there's another hand raised. Benny Ortega has his hand up. Benny, go right ahead. Hi, good morning. Look, my name is Benita Larios, but I use my husband's last name, Ortega. My husband has his painting company. He's just starting out. It's just a couple years old. So now, because of the pandemic, I'm a child care provider. I've done that for 18 years. And we closed the business a year ago. So now I just help my husband. So I'm starting to learn about how to promote the business on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. But now I just started hearing, yeah, that but I realize that I'm doing this wrong because I have just personal pages and I'm not getting comments or I'm not getting, um, they don't tell me, I'm not seeing the publicity that I'm doing. So I'm just hearing now that I need to change to a business page, um, where I could transfer that. I've tried, but it's been complicated. Should I open this page again, make that page again? Yeah, I would start a new page because you shouldn't really transfer everything over because there's certain specifications in your personal page that won't allow you, for example, do publicity or see statistics. So if you maybe I can repeat the process. So if you are creating it from nothing, you're going to have to start to get friends from your world. What's it called? Um, I'll just give you an idea. So if I'm here, I'll go to my personal page. So this is my personal page. Here I have my things, my profile. So when I create a page, I go here. It's on the left-hand side, and if you don't see it here, it's here below. I think I create the page, After I create the page, I'll go here. Here's an option to invite people. You can invite friends. Let me change over to my business page. There we go. So that's going to allow you to invite friends when you create it, like when you just create it. So invite all your friends, and that will give you that first push about how to get followers. And after that, if you can continue to promote, you can put photos of your work. And in fact, we're going pretty quickly through this, but I'm so someone's just here we go. This is when we're first starting out here. We can show you. I'll just give you. I like to show with examples. Let's see. This person. This person has a siding business, and they're just starting out on social media. So what happens? I supported them when they created all of this. Remember when I told you that you use your Facebook banner, your profile photo as publicity. So I was supporting them, creating some posts like this. This is the jobs that they do, how it looks. So this is one of the things that sells the most on this construction. So, and this is their contact information. So this is the type of things that you can start to do regularly. Okay, here we go. They give you this invite friends to like your page. There it is. So then you can invite everybody, right? And you can start to promote organically. And there's some other things to do, some publicity. But we'll get into that later. I don't know if that helped you or if you have any more questions, Benny. I think that they took off. Alberto also raised his hand. Alberto, if you'd like to ask your question. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Marvin, I'm a little bit more advanced in my marketing, and your tips are really great. You give me so much information. Specifically, I have Facebook and Instagram, and everything that I've been uh, getting from different platforms like Jill, it's a Instagram and Facebook platform. I also have marketing with 411 Local, um, and I pay a monthly fee for my page. And I've started to make folders. Um, so, no, so everything that you've been talking about marketing on Facebook or on Instagram, I've never heard about those things. So my question is, I have been looking at my strengths as you were talking about where I can strengthen my business, where I can find my clients. I work in the real estate industry, and and one of those is homeowners, like so I have these different folders, but I don't have another idea about where out of sight of Facebook or who else I should be looking for. So obviously, so a few things are coming to mind. Um, so if maybe offices or businesses, that's a sector that um, um, there are people who do Airbnb. So one of his businesses also is cleaning carpets. So Airbnbs or small businesses often need that. I personally, in the way that when I do my marketing, um, I do a combination between digital marketing and traditional marketing, we call it, where you look for businesses and go personally to them, because what happens? People, in my opinion, and my vision of marketing is that people talk with other people. So when I go and I introduce myself, I'm the manager of a building. Um, That's another one, business building managers and property managers. If I can go and say, okay, this is my business, I'm growing, here's my business card, and making that in-person connection um, is good. But when that person goes to look for you, like the first thing they're going to do is look for you on Google or somewhere. They could say, where do you exist? Like, do you exist? Go to your website, your Facebook page, your Yelp, all things like that. So making that, so combining that, those two sectors, it can help you. And also having your digital presence in order that can help you. Oh, okay, this is their business, they're established, they have things on the internet. So there's just more possibility to create credibility and the more likelihood that they're going to call you. So that's just my recommendation. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. Marvin, um, on Facebook, we have another question. Okay. It says, if from your business page, if you can invite other businesses, because they only give you the option to invite friends, right? But how can I look for other businesses to invite? So in this case, you can't. As far as I understand, it's only people because they're connecting you with individuals and not businesses. But now the businesses or the option that I gave Setlali and Benny is to go to groups where there's other companies, other individuals. So that's a more valid option. But as a business, you can be looking for other businesses on Facebook and individuals so that they can follow you and so that you can promote directly to them. There are other places where you can get hooked up with other business like LinkedIn. That's more of a professional area space where you can go to managers, things like that. But on Facebook, the relationship is more with individual people. Okay, perfect. I have a question. Okay, Marvin, sorry. And it's about childcare centers um, and about privacy with the photos. How what if you bought like photos from a web page, like from that, for example, they give you that ticket to get the photo and the right to that photo to upload. I know that generally those photos, they sell them to thousands of people. And there's not really exclusivity, but how well does that work using those type of photos instead of of a child from your childcare that would have to sign a document? Well, for me, you can start with that, but I would try to make the photo not necessarily like the face of the child, like Lally was saying, but photos of your business and specifically, because I don't want you know to mislead people or think that they misunderstand that if they have a picture of a child in this perfectly pristine place and then they go to your business and it looks different, right? um, if it doesn't look anything like in the photo that you've been putting up, I mean, people can feel cheated. So I personally would prefer that you do it very respectfully and with the consent of the parents, like as so the other was saying you could take pictures from behind or, playing little games or doing things together. Because when people come to your daycare, it's going to look, like they saw in the pictures. It's not going to be different. And they can have the trust that if I don't want to, people don't want to see one thing and show up and have it be another. Um, so take respectful photos, with consent, but it should be of yours. Always, always, always with parent consent. Something signed. Right, perfect. Anything in the chat? Anybody ask any questions? No, if you want, we can continue. I think there is a question. Okay, we have changing from that's Zilali. If I want, I'll put my contact information at the end because there's a question about how much it would cost to use the services. Okay, Tim, time goes fast. Okay. Uh, okay. This is this is when get to Google My Business. Google My Business is a Google account page. And this is really important because like Alberto was saying that when people go to the first thing, they're going to look for, I don't know, carpet cleaners near me. And if you don't have that profile on Google for your business, you're not going to show up on searches. If you don't put your area where you work, you're not going to show up either. So I'll give you a little tour. So why is it really important to have your business profile? It increases your possibility of being found so that people can find out more about your business. It helps people go to your website, visit your website if you have one, because they'll get connected, and helps you to understand better how people got to your website. And here's some strategies. I just wanted to show you how this looks. So when you go into Google and you put your business name, right? I'll do it here. Conexiones PDX. It's going to show up, right? This is the business profile on Google. This is really important because it's going to allow you to show up in searches. So I just click here, and that's going to show up on my website. And here I have all this information, services, etc. So it's really important to be here before anything else because if I create my profile here on the right-hand side, it's going to allow you to show up on Google. But how do we do this? It's completely free. Anybody who has a Gmail account can create their business profile, for example. Let's say this is my profile. This is my email. Sorry, this is my Gmail account. So if I go here, I'm going to go where it says business profile, or I can go down here. But now here's your Gmail, your normal Gmail, your email account. Here are the little dots on the right-hand side. You're going to find business profile. If you don't have one created yet, they're going to ask you to create one from nothing. But if I have one created, here it's going to ask me for some information about my business. And I'm going to put things like my business name, my business area, website, services. So all of this is really important for your business to promote it because here in your service areas, why is this important? Because if I put Mexican food near me, if I search for that and I live in Beaverton and my service area is in Beaverton, Google is going to connect that person with Mexican food that's in their location. So they're going to apply that service area that you have on your business profile. Here you can also have, if you have a restaurant, you can put your menu or product and start to fill this out with your product, etc. And all of that is what you're going to be able to see here in this section. So this is very important. And how do you start this? Well, I go to my Gmail account. If I don't have any of this already done, when I go to my Gmail account on the right hand, there's Google Apps. And you're going to look for business profile or create my business. If it's not up there, it's down here below. Click there. And it's going to ask me to create everything from square one, your name, everything. So after you've created it, you put in your address. Google's going to send you a letter, a physical letter with a code. You're going to put the code in here, and then you can confirm that your business is real. The other important part of this are reviews. So when you want you want if you want to accept reviews, you can go up here to your profile, go home, and if you want someone to leave you a review, you can say get more reviews. And you just copy this link and you send it to people. And what happens with this? When people get it, they'll click, they'll go to a screen where they can fill out a review. And I'll give you an example of this. So I'm going to go to this message here. So for example, someone sent me this link, I click on it and look what happens. They're going to send me directly to the review page. So I said, look, okay, thank you for choosing us. Please leave us a review, and they'll give you a link for that. And it just makes it easier for people to leave you a review on Google. And why a review is important? Because they give you credibility. The more reviews, Google refines their search results for people. So it's really important to take part in this process of creating a profile on Google. Any questions up to now? Yeah, I do. Um, um, I'm on my computer right now trying to create my page. So where it's asking, there's just a few dots over here for my email over here where it says, so what's the name of the app? That, yeah, so if you go to the screen here up here, it says business profile, where it's or you can say Google My Business sometimes, it'll say profile, but it should be like, it should look like this. Yeah, okay, thank you. All right, you can fill everything out. Another important thing that will let you see insights or statistics. For example, it says, and this month, for example, it says, the people who found me, 28 searches. In the blue section, it says the people who found your business searching for a category, product, or service. As I said, that someone put in marketing or bilingual marketing or one of those categories for my services, and they found my page. Someone else got my business profile by putting in my name exactly, Conexiones PDX, and they found me. So this is an idea of how people are finding you. Some of them find you on maps, other people find you in a search. Some people visited my website, and then that can give you more information about how people reach your business, find your business. And this was in the last quarter. Some people found me, for example, searching for another business or related to your business. So you can put everything from Google My Business on your profile, and everything is free here. So everything here you can do with just time, just putting a little time into it and just understanding it and using the support of, like we are giving in this workshop right now, to learn how to do this. So we'll get to jump to the end here. This is the end. This is my email. And obviously I will answer some questions if you have any about Google My Business, about the last section there. We don't have questions. Well, Benny has her hand raised. I don't know if that was about the last topic or if you have a new question, Benny. Yeah, sorry. My question is, we have my Google My Business page made up already, with that code that Google sent us and everything. So I've just heard that I have to make a page to send clients to do a review. But if I have, maybe my page isn't set up right because I sent people a review link and they haven't been giving me any. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. No, it's probably, if you're looking at my screen right now, yeah, you're seeing it? Yeah. So let's go to the home page. So when you go into your Gmail for your business Gmail, go to your business profile. They're going to go to this page. And as I scroll down here, here we go. All right, it's not moving. Here we go. Here we have it. Okay. If it's not here, I'll have one more spot to look. Here we go, reviews. Here it is. So I'm going to look for where it says get more reviews. So when you click on that, they're going to give you this link. It's specifically for your business. So you can copy it and you can send it to people in a text message and said, thank you for trusting us with your business. If you'd like to leave us a review, here you can do it and just give them the link. You can go through Facebook, email, WhatsApp, whatever. And people fill it out and then they can do your review directly on Google. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go look for that and do that. Thank you so much. Yeah, of course. And the last part, we're going to close with, we're going to talk about email marketing, in which this is a tool that when you're starting to get information, compile information about your customers, uh, so you can go on and get email addresses, get in there, put information in there so that you can have people fill out with their email address so that you can send them information. And you can get their information because you can send them sales, or when you have new products, or when you have something special going on, you can email those out, and people who see it, there's more likelihood that they're going to buy your product. So the benefit, there are software, there's programs available for email marketing. The uses of email marketing, for example, to promote your business, talk about sales, new products, specials of the day, things like that. The reason for using email marketing is that it keeps up that communication with your customers. After they bought something, if they bought a burrito, maybe you will never see them again. But if you keep their information and email them information, that can help you for them to come back or to promote your business. There was not too long ago, there was a event in Tualatin, and we were promoting this event. And for example, we said we're going to raffle off a television. And so we said, okay, give us your email address and we'll raffle off this television. So what's the strategy with that? So if I could start to get that data together so that later on be able to promote my business. I could talk about a new location we're opening, anything like that. That's just a strategy to use email marketing. And again, to do this, starting out, you don't have to do anything really special. You can just have a notebook or pencil and paper. You can have a spreadsheet on Gmail, a G Sheet. You've gotten something from MailChimp before. That's software to work on this type of thing. And you can put in an email address. This is like one of my customers, and send out this email where you can visit. So we can see too these statistics. 113 people opened it. One person unsubscribed. It even says what pages on my website did they visit? But and you can see how many people opened the email. Here you could specifically see who opened the email. This is obviously a more professional software, but what you can do with this is that there are a lot of tools that you can use to keep in connection with your customers. So if you have a Gmail account, this can help you. So we talked about strategies. We talked about you can do newsletters, updates about your business. For example, you can send tutorials about how to, get stains out of your carpets. And there's just lots of different ways to share information. Text messages. It's really high probability that someone's going to open a text message. It's like 80%. And you can send text messages. Almost everybody uses text messages. Old people, young people, everybody. And there are services for that too. Basically, that's to send sales, updates about your business. YouTube, that's another one of the important tools because a lot of people are, they look for information on YouTube about how to do things. And to create a YouTube account for free, you have to have a Gmail account, totally free. I can show you that really quick. How to do that. This is my business email. I go up here to the apps dots, YouTube, and it's going to send me to the YouTube channel. And what do? Here up top, go to your channel. And from there, I can see, create videos, upload them, and post videos on YouTube. This gives you another presence on another platform that's going to be more, it's going to be easier to get reach. And again, this is totally free. Email, apps, YouTube. When you see the channel, you have a little circle, right-hand side. There's your channel. And you can start uploading videos from your computer, your cell phone, wherever. And YouTube is the second largest search browser after Google, or search engine after Google. So it's not a bad idea. Benefits, it's easier to show your product with videos. You can connect more with your customer. It's a tool that allows you to link to your website. You can create educational videos, promotional videos, cross promotion. And your website, which is the last part of this today, that's the place where all your information is going to live. So when I have my website, you can see here I have everything that I offer. And it's easier for people to see things that I do, calmer, right? Because I'm on social media, what happens is that people, if I go to Facebook, so if I go to Facebook, for example, people just go like this. They go through like this. They don't take time to see what I'm doing. But on my website, they can see everything I do, take their time, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one of the important things about having a website. And also, it's also important to have keywords that your customers use, like cleaning carpets, because they're going to help you to help people to find your business, and then go to your website. So it helps to improve the consumer experience. You can optimize it for cell phone, mobile devices. You can go to Google My Business. You can put it on Google My Business if you have a blog. Now with COVID-19, like in the case of Sid Lally, who has a daycare, talking about COVID-19, how is she working, within those restrictions? That's just something that's really important. And with strategies, constantly update it, create content on your blog, attract potential customers by sharing a page on all your virtual platforms, and your keywords is going to help you. Those are some more tools about how to use them. For example, if you're using Zoom, or how to promote your business. And the last thing is what I tell people is always, please ask you know, ask people when they buy something from you, how did they hear about your business and how did they find you? Because that allows you to have a good idea about how people found your business, and that can help you decide where do you want to invest in promotion and marketing. Um, so always ask how people heard about your business, how they found you, and that can help you a lot. Okay, so thank you so much. I've gone over a few minutes, but thank you so much for the opportunity. No, thank you, Marvin, for that excellent presentation. Um, I have to close. I have questions, and I've been thinking about this about Facebook, about how to share your posts with different businesses. So I manage the Impact Beaverton account on Facebook, and there's another account. And the Chamber of Commerce of Beaverton has another page. So sometimes, for example, there's some posts or things like that when we share something and we want to tag the other company or another business, right? That can be a way, right? Like an effective way to, get followed by the other business. Yeah, totally, totally. That's cool. That's great. And it's really important to create that. So when you're creating your page, if you create, let's see here, let's see if I can share this really quick. For example, it's important that you create on your Facebook. Look at this right here. This is your username. So when you do tagging, when you tag another business, they're going to ask you when you're creating your page, to create what's called your business username, basically. So if I create a post, here's an example. It says, okay, thank you at what's Impact Beaverton. What's it called? There it should go. Okay, there it is. That's it, right? For happiness. So if I'm going to post that, but you're going to see what shows up here. 1 second. What happens? So, oh, what's up, Impact Beaverton? I can click on that here. And so then you can that's when you create that username. And so that's really important that when you're, trying to communicate with people. So, for example, my strategy to be able to share this webinar that I have Facebook Live right now, I can thank you, Marvin. Obviously, we can tag your business so that I can also get some more views, right? Yeah, totally, totally. So that's really important. So when we're talking about promotions between, cross promotion, like Alberto was mentioning. So if you're going to work with a business in particular and say thank you, if you want to go to the Airbnb or whatever, thank you at Airbnb for having invited me. So if Airbnb allows that post on their wall, you're going to reach like a ton of people that you don't have in your network. That's the Airbnb network. So that's a strategy that can help you. It's free. Tagging or using those labels for people that you're working with or some type of trade ally that you have. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, Marvin, I see your information in the chat. It's Marvin Peña. His telephone number 360-771 5865. Thank you. That's his phone number for anybody who wants to be in contact with you. You could they want to increase their networks and to have success with social media, get in touch with Marvin Peña. He can help you a lot. And thank you so much again, Marvin, for your time. And it was a great presentation. So we've gone over the hour and we're here just glued to our screens. So, all right. For our